Hello all, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about four pillars of education. As you know, four pillars of education is the principle or guidelines directed to present educational system by UNESCO. It is mainly for facing the challenges and threats in our society in the 21st century. Coming to UNESCO, UNESCO is a special agency of UN. As we know, UNESCO means United Nations Agency for Educational, Scientific and Cultural Development. So we can simply write the full form of UNESCO by that. It was formed in 1945 and it was in 1993 UNESCO asked Jacques Delors to study on the threats and requirements of the 21st century's educational system. And in 1996, Delors, who was a French citizen, submitted his report, namely Learning the Treasure Within. And this committee had 14 members from 14 different countries, and it was Dr. Karan Singh who represented India. Coming to the report, he was focusing on mainly four things. It was first one was individual development, and the second one was the relationship between individual, group, and society. Third one focused on peace, and fourth one was definitely on lifelong education. Coming to the report, it was there was two key concepts in it. The first one was lifelong learning, and the second one was pillars of education. The threat discussed in this report were like it was more like tensions than threats. It was like what we have to choose, is it modernity or traditional things, and the conflicts occurs between global concept and local concept, and also the need of competence and equal opportunities, and then comes individual and universal conflicts, and then erases the conflict between extraordinary expansion of knowledge and assimilation. And the last one is the very famous conflict, that is materialistic and spiritual conflict. And for this, he suggested the best remedy as education. So the four pillars, in the first one, he focused on acquisition of knowledge, and it is named as learning to know. As you know, acquisition of knowledge is the basic aim of education. And as Plato said once, the only real ill doing is the prevention of acquisition of knowledge or deprivation of knowledge. So, this aim has its own importance. In this, we are asking our memories to train for better concentration and skills. So, here, if we learn something new, you have to store it in memory, you have to think over it. So how can we retain our memory, or how can we improve our thinking skills? These are the main skills we have to develop here: concentration, aesthetic power, thinking abilities, as well as numerical abilities, and literacy, and of course thinking, etc. comes here. And here the skills involved are memory, reasoning, imagination, physical and mental ability, aesthetic skill, and communication skill. So the strategies to develop in this area for children, you have to do, of course, brain-based learning. In brain-based learning, we activate both hemispheres of brain, and the retention of memory is higher. You can also give real life experiences to learn it in a better way. Library, lab, playground, varied curriculum, etc. gives knowledge on different perspective of education or different aspects of education. Also, induction deduction learning, problem solving can be given in this area. There's a quote of Benjamin Franklin which says the investment of knowledge pays the best interest. So I'm repeating it, and investment in knowledge pays the best. So that is about learning to know. Next one is learning to do. As you know, if you have knowledge and you don't know how to apply it, the knowledge is completely waste. So skill development is something we all focus nowadays. To develop the skill in children, we can give so many strategies, or we can have so many plans, which include drill and practice, learning by doing, project, internship, and of course, if it comes to computer literacy, then it's blended learning, and we have so many techniques. So the skills here to be acquired are motor skills. You have to know how to apply something, and for that you have to analyze the situation, you have to creatively think about the solutions, critically evaluate how these things works, and you should have communication skills so that you can give out your ideas to many people. As our Prime Minister Narendra Modi said once, the more we give importance to skill development, the more competent our youth. And it was Robert Greene who said, the future belongs to those who learn or who learn more skills and combine in the creative way. Whitehead said once, education is the acquisition of art of utilization of knowledge. And then comes learning to live together. Nowadays, we know the main problem we face is the hatred between people. So, here we train the people to accept their self and accept other varieties and focus on similarities rather than differences. Then only we can bring peace to our society. Now, it's a global village. Even in our country, we know there are so many cultures, so many races, and so many linguistic patterns. So, in our country, it is important to live together, and how to learn to live together. It is also important. So, for this, we can give them group works, collaborative learning, peer evaluation, so that they have the tolerance to accept others' point of view, and of course club activities, social work, and value-based education. So by this we can practice the skills like non-violence, tolerance, acceptance, cooperation, and selfless attitude, value development, and accept diversity and awareness of our interdependence and similarity. So we can quote Gandhiji here. He told us once, like, if you want a real peace in this world, it's better educate the children. And Montessori also said, establishing lasting peace is a work of education. And Tagore said, the highest education brings harmony to all the existence. The last one is learning to be, accepting ourselves, understanding our strength and weakness, and improving our life in all the spheres, our personality in all the spheres, let it be physical, mental, spiritual, ethical, etc. So we can quote Gandhi here. Gandhi told once, education, by education, he means drawing the best out of a child and a man in body, mind, and spirit. We can also quote Swami Vivekananda here. He said once that education is the manifestation of already existing perfectness in the man. Education is the manifestation of perfection present already in man. So we have to develop a child holistically. And here it comes self awareness, self improvement, communication skill, empathy, reflection, creativity, critical thinking, acceptance of oneself, and personality development in all areas. So here we can give all the reflection strategies like diary writing or journal writing, or talking and think time. So we can give all the reflection strategies here to improve one's learning to be. And next one comes like yoga, meditation, extracurricular activities, physical activities, work experience, etc. Because all of them either affect a person to develop physically or mentally. And by doing practicing all the work experiences or arts, you can have a better mind, a clear vision, etc. These are the short notes I have made for my examination. Please have a look. I hope it will help you. And thank you so much for watching the video.